I need a piece of cloth.
Okay.
Let me go get it. Hold on. Okay. If I put this down, will you be able to work on it?
Sure.
Oh, look! People are doing things on other parts of the internet. Yeah. There we go. That's better.
3 are watching now.
Hey. Oh, it's so pretty. Shit. Shoot. Potty mouth. I'm sorry, whoever's listening. I did not mean to. So you'll have to put your stuff like right here.
You want to lay this up?
Sure.
We got a visual.
Like this?
Yeah, however you want to put it up. So
Well,
kind of cool because it lets me figure out too that everything's upside down. Got it.
Well, yeah. It's right side up on there.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, there we go. Hello, everyone. What was that?
No, what?
I don't know. Something. Okay. Let's put this over here. This can go back that way a little. Another 1.5 inches. Maybe not. Oh, wrong way. So, see, I knocked this over this morning. So, yeah.
Oh, well, we'll get over it. Just let it stay.
There.
That's good.
That's better. Well, I'm picky about it, you know? People like to be able to see what you're doing. Well, I kind of, you don't want that on there yet, right?
Oh, I don't care. You can put that on there.
Boop. Leslie! Hello. Oh, okay. I'm sorry you can't stay. That would be fun.
Oh, wow.
But I do wish you a good day at work. Can you hear me okay? There's Mark. It's that guy.
Who's that lurker?
A lurker. Oh, good. I can do this now. Yes. There you go. Oh. No. Where's the... Let me see here. Let me see this. I'm going to go here. So, why is that not showing you as a moderator?
It doesn't like me?
Oh, no, it likes you. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it right there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Leslie, for letting me know the sound is good. So I know there are other people that are going to show up. It's just that they're not here yet. I realize, you know, life happens, and everybody knows live streams don't start off with a lot of people in them generally. Goodness. She said hello, Mark.
Oh, hi. I know.
Okay. He says hello. He's.
I said hi.
You did?
That's what I typed in. Hi.
Yeah. Oh, right. I'm backwards. I'm sorry. Ooh. I'm a dork. Okay, sorry. Oh. Wow, I'm tired. For a Sunday, I even had a nap. I'm still tired. That's okay. I can nap again later if I want to. It's Sunday. I actually have 2 empty pencil extenders right now, which is really odd. I used up my pencils until I couldn't sharpen them anymore, and they turned into little nubs. Oh, it's not Sunday where you are. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting where everybody's from. It's a lot of people I interact with on the YouTube, in YouTube. So it's hard for me to remember where everybody's from. I'll get it eventually. So hello, everyone. Hello, lurkers. You are welcome here. If you have any questions, if you feel comfortable enough, go ahead and ask or whatever. And if you don't, then you can always message me later if you have a question about the tutorial. Either I'll get back with you or I'll talk to Mark and then get back with you, because he's going to be doing one of the first half of the tutorial. So I'm going to make some announcements as soon as in a couple minutes, and then I'll be handing the channel, camera, etc. over to him. Yeah. Oh, wow. 3 hours? That's bad. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to hear that. Wow. Yeah, I'd be turning on the coffee IV and yeah, trying to stay awake. Oh my gosh. Cute little keychain. Victoria! Hello there. I saw your picture on Facebook. Gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It was the picture that I think you put it up earlier today. I don't know, because my feed is sometimes I don't see things for like 15 hours, and I don't get that. But yeah, that was a really good picture. Yeah. You're wearing, well, you're not wearing like in your picture for here on YouTube right there in chat. It looks like you're wearing a flower wreath on your head. That one, there's no wreath. It's you and glasses, and that's it. And a smile. Oh, yes, the picture of you. Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, well, I'm sure you're used to hearing stuff like that. Okay, well, we're at 10 minutes. I just tell it like I see it. That's all. I'm going to go ahead and sort of get started here. Today we're doing the leather tutorial, and this stuff over here that you see is Mark's, for Mark's tutorial. Also, I kind of changed my setup here, so the lighting might look a little different. And I changed the camera angle, so that's going to look a little different. And if anybody has any trouble seeing or hearing, please let me know, because that way I can change it before the next time, which I may do anyway. If I can find something more convenient, a better way to do it, then I will be changing it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Spooktober Colorathon is coming up on the weekend of the 25th, 26th, and 27th. Probably everybody knows about that, but I like to go ahead and give out a reminder because I need them. So anyway, there is an online schedule. Mark does not know where that is, so even though he's a moderator, he doesn't know how to fetch it. So I am, let's see if I can get it for you. Schedule, it's in my bookmarks. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I'll try and copy this into the stream. And that will be, let's see. And there we go. Hey, Nick and Tina. Welcome and hello, mods. I just posted the link to the Spooktober Colorathon schedule sheet, so everybody can see that. Hey, Bev. Good to see ya. And let's see. So that's where that is. I'm only streaming on Saturday night, and there's a lot of people that are streaming more than once. I'll be following the streams, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. Let's see what else. Oh yes, I changed my mind about what I wanted to do for the Spooktober coloring, and it's one of these two. Got this one. This is Jana Prosperina from her. It's a PDF from her Etsy store. You can find it there. There's this one, and I haven't made up my mind yet. This one is a Selena Finnick grayscale, and you can also get it in line art. But if you want to follow along and do the coloring with suggested colors from me or your own colors or whatever, you can. This is a Selena Finnick, and you can get the single PDF in her store on Etsy also. This one is called, I think, Printable Fantasy Art or something like that. And then the Jana Prosperina one is Jana Fairy Art on Etsy. So after the stream, I should have put that in the description of the video, and I just completely spaced it. So I apologize for that, but I will put those two links in there as soon as the stream is done. And you guys can go, if you want to, you can go grab one of those or both of those. Yeah, they're both pretty. One's kind of like a serious Halloween picture, and the other one's kind of a cute Halloween picture. And I wanted to have kind of a option of both of those. And I think maybe what I'll do is have people vote the day of, and just we'll see what happens. Kind of gonna go with the flow thing here. Let's see what else.
You got one vote already for grayscale.
Oh yeah, it is pretty sexy, huh? Yeah. Selena's work is really amazing. Well, I haven't seen a bad artist for line art and grayscale yet. It's really cool. There's so much to choose from. But
I think Nick and Tina are voting for the second one.
Oh yeah, too. Yeah. Okay, well, I will keep that in mind. I've already got votes for the second one, the Selena Finnick one. Awesome. Okay, so Mark is going to do his tutorial first. This doesn't take a whole lot of time, and if we have time after, I'll just find something to color, and we can just color and chat and
have a good old time
and have some nice relaxing time. But for the time being, here is Mark. Please make him feel welcome. He's going to show you how to make a keychain.
Wait,
and and I'll be sitting right over there. You guys can't see me pointing, but I am. I'm going to be sitting like right over there. Your turn.
Well, yeah, my turn.
I'm going to get on here. And, oops.
Ooh, you're just throwing stuff at me.
I know, man.
Hi, folks.
Is that covering?
So,
yeah.
Oh, I got you. So as Joe Beth said, we're going to do a little bit of leather work today. And to start off with, we're going to teach you how to make this nifty little keychain here. The cool thing about this is it requires no sewing, no rivets, no screws, no gluing. All you got to do is cut the leather and you're pretty much good to go. So it makes it real easy. But prior to starting that, I do want to show you guys, because I told you to go to like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or whatever you happen to have that sells little bits and pieces of leather and pick yourself up some. So I thought it might be a good idea just to go over a couple things really quick. So this is what's known as veg tanned leather. It basically is undyed, so you can pretty much do anything you want with it, which is really nice. And then these would be examples of pre-tanned or pre-dyed leather. Usually these are oil tanned or chromium tanned. And then of course there's suede. And pretty much all suede is chromium tanned. But of course they come in different colors as well. I just happen to have black here, and I think that's the only one I actually have right now in my kit. But the cool thing with leather is you can dye it, you can paint it. Acrylic paints work probably the best. The dyes you can pick up pretty much anywhere. I have actually found that shoe leather dye works really well on the undyed veg tan. I wouldn't use it as a constant. I would probably use real leather dye or hobby leather dye, however you want to put that. But in a pinch, it does work, because I just created a holster for one of my Ren Fair garb pieces and used the black shoe dye to dye it. It worked really nice. Now I'm talking the liquid shoe dye, not the pasty polish. So the other thing that you got to keep in mind is the thickness of the leather. And for the keychains, we of course wanted something relatively thin. And the reason we want something relatively thin is because it's very pliable then. This is a little bit thicker, this veg tan, and you can see it just doesn't quite bend as well as the thinner pieces. You can pretty much flex these all over the place. And of course, we all know suede is probably the easiest. It will pretty much twist and bend and do whatever you want with it. So a couple things. The basic stuff that you're going to need today is sitting here right in front of you. You can either use an X-Acto knife, which this is a great little kit that I got off of Amazon. Comes with 3 different handles and just a whole assortment of blades. And one of the cool things is the blade portion here has a magnet, so it just holds everything right in place really nice. So if you're thinking about it, might be a way to go. I know Beth had told you about leather shears. This is the difference between leather shears and, like, say, your garden variety sewing shears. These are really heavy duty, and usually, I don't know if you can really see this, but let's see. No, not really. Leather shears have a slight serration along the blade, so it makes cutting through leather really, really easy. So, and then of course the ruler, the pen, little keychains, split ring type keychains. Yay! Because you got to be able to put your keys on. And something to cut on. Now, because I work leather, I already have a cutting board, and it's a polyurethane. So it's really cool because you can cut into this and it may mar up and everything, but it kind of heals itself back up too. And you don't have to worry so much about gouging and whatnot. So if you're going to be cutting something today, I strongly suggest that you don't just do it on your dining room table. Put something underneath it. Cardboard, if you have nothing else, works really well, depending on the thickness, of course. If you're using like just an envelope type cardboard, probably isn't going to work too well. You'll probably cut right through it. But keep that in mind. So with no further ado, let's talk about how we're going to make this. So one of the things that we had said, excuse me, one of the things that we had said was go out and find yourself a nice strip of leather. And what we were looking for is anywhere from 8 to 12 inches. So as you can see here, that one's what, 9 1/8, and that one's about 10 1/2. You can do it with the smaller pieces. About 8 inches minimum is what I would say, because what we're going to end up doing is, of course, folding this over, and you got to have a little bit of room to work. So 8 inches is probably the least that I would go, but I prefer to go a little bit longer. I like the length, and I think it comes out, makes a really nice piece such as this. So if you haven't already done it, you'll need to cut a strip. The width is going to be, of course, the width of the keychain itself. In this case, this one's a little over 1 inch. You see? But keep in mind that the leather is going to sit down on the keychain. So we're looking at what, maybe 3/4 of an inch. However, I'm going to show you how to make sure that it lays a little bit flatter anyway. The other thing that I like to do is, if you're just going to make a really simple strip, you can lay your, here, let me show you on this one. You can lay your ruler right across your piece of leather, and when you're going to cut, by the way, I'm not going to cut this, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But when you're going to cut, you just run right along your ruler and right along your ruler, and you now have a nice little strip, however long you've actually decided to make it. Now, to get back to this, the reason I'm not going to cut this, this was part of a kit. I got it from Tandy for about $15, and it makes a pouch. I use this for a template for when I'm making other pouches, and that way I don't have to worry about trying to work off of scratch or setting up a template ahead of time. I can make as many pouches as I want using the one pouch kit that I got from Tandy. And Tandy, I'm sure that there are other leather companies out there. Tandy is my go-to. I've gotten so many things from them, so many pieces of leather and so many tools and just little knick-knack type things like the conchos to put on them and just all kinds of stuff. Wonderful, wonderful people. At least they are over here. I can't speak for every Tandy in the world, but the ones that I've been dealing with, really, really excellent people. And I've had good experiences every time. Anywho, so hopefully by now you've gotten your piece of leather cut, and we're going to move on with how we're going to do this. This is so simple, it's not even funny. The first thing that you want to do is just slide the piece of leather through and fold it over. And voila, you now have the beginnings of your keychain. So what I was going to show you about how easy it is to make this thing fit, if I can get my knife out. Okay. So again, we're going to make this as even as we possibly can. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're not going for perfection here. We're going for aesthetics. And all you got to do is make a little slit in the leather. with a little slit in the leather to give you an idea of where you're going to be cutting. This is where, again, your ruler comes out. And I have to admit, this is a little hard for me to see. The light is a little bit different than what I'm used to working with. Oh, guess I should get back in frame. Okay. So I think on this, because we have about, what's that? A little over an inch. So I think on this one, we're just going to go about 1/8 of an inch cut, about 1/8 of an inch, and finish the cut. And now, when we slide our piece of leather in, it's got a nice easy rest because it's slit and fits over the little loop. And so there we have it. Yeah, it was a little off on the halfway mark. But again, we're not worried about it, because when this starts folding on itself, you'll be amazed. All that little excess will kind of sort of disappear. So here's the trick. Everything we're going to do from this point on is going to be on whichever flap is on the front or on top, however you want to look at that. And all we're going to do, we're going to push that out of the way, and we're going to measure. You can put it up there if you want so it's standing. And we're going to measure about, and yes, it's an approximation, but about 3/4 of the way down, or 3/4 of an inch down. And we're going to make a slit about the halfway point. And we're going to go in line with the strap. And we're going to make about, a 3/4 inch slit. Now, the cool thing is, if you're not using an X-Acto knife, scissors work really well too. On black leather, it's kind of hard to get it to work perfectly, but you can mark out your, here, let's do it on the back of this one. Oh, I'm out of frame?
A little bit, yeah.
My wife's keeping me honest. Yay.
Go up another inch or two.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I was saying is, on this, we're going to pretend we're doing this again. So here's our center line. Here's the 3/4 mark, because we're going to give it about 3/4 of an inch. And you can make a drawing with your pen on your leather. And then fold this over a little bit. Take your scissors and cut right along that line. And there you have it. And if it's not quite long enough, that's okay. Another snip, and there you have it. You have your slit. But we're working on the black one. So once you've got your first cut in there, we may actually have to make that a little longer, but we'll see. You're going to want to fold over the back piece. And you're folding it over only because it makes it a whole lot easier to slide it through. And you're going to work it in through that slit that you just made. And you're just going to pull it through. Nice and easy. I say that, it's not necessarily nice and easy. Suede has a tendency to stick really, really bad. Okay, and there we have it. Yeah, for the suede, I probably should have went up a little bit higher now that I'm looking at this, because it's very loose here. That's okay. Again, I will show you how to take care of that. So there you have it. There's your first loop. Now remember what I said. Everything's going to be on the top flap. So you're just going to move that out of the way. You're basically going to do your little measure thing again. Only in this case, we're only going to...
Hold it up to the camera so they can see it.
What am I holding up to the camera so they can see? What I don't... What is it we need to see? Hello? I don't know what we're... Oh, Rebel. Yeah, rotary blades work really well. I've never tried to use a rotary blade for cutting a slit, though. How well does that work? I can't see the chat. I'm not touching this. My wife will kill me if I screw it up. Things keep popping up. I can't see the chat, folks. I'm sorry. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So we're going to fold this out, and we're going to see, there's stuff popping up, and I can't see the chat, so I have no idea what's being said.
That's okay. I got it. It's okay.
Okay. See, I'm not good with this whole live stream thing. The wife knows it. She understands it. Me, I just go, yeah, okay. So, okay. So in this one, we're going to come down, let's only come down, say, 1/2 inch. And we're going to make another 3/4 inch cut. And then we're going to take back flap, fold it over. And work it through, maybe. There we go. There we go. Now, one of the other things that I like to do is I like to fold this piece that I just cut back toward the back, and it helps make that lay a little bit flatter. Not much, but a little bit. And then we're going to do this one more time. We're going to, again, come down maybe 1/2 inch. And we're going to make one last cut. Tuck this through. And we're going to fold that back out on itself.
Hold it all the way up to the camera with your hand under.
I don't, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, so they can see how good it looks.
Oh, well. So there you have it. So there's a nice, just 3 simple cuts, a little bit of tucking, and you've got yourself a ready-made keychain. If you want to get fancy, like I did with this, all you simply do is you lay this flat, and you take your little X-Acto knife, and really quick, couple of slits, and you've just feathered the edge of your leather. Oh, let's cut that one yet too. There you go. So you have a nice little feather. And if you're using scissors, same thing. Just a really simple case of, and you don't even have to measure. Again, why? Because we're not going for perfection. We're going for aesthetics. We're going to make it look really cool. And there we go. Nice feathered little itty bitty keychain. Now, what I said earlier, if you notice, this one was cut a little bit higher up toward the keychain, so it sits a little bit better. This doesn't move around as much as this one did. So, can we fix that? Sure we can. You can do several things here. If you are so inclined, you can take one of these, which is this is called a rotary hole punch. And they call it a rotary hole punch in case you didn't know, because the head simply rotates. Different sizes. There we go. try. This whole backwards thing is weird. So they have different sizes of holes so that you can put all kinds of different sizes of things through your leather. The small ones work really well for strings or threading, and the bigger ones, of course, are going to be used for buttons and snaps and stuff like that. So if you have one of these and you have some rivets or some Chicago screws or something like that, you can simply punch a hole in there and run a rivet through and punch it down really good. And guess what? That's not going to move. Or if you don't have one of these available, my second go-to. Let's see if I can do this right. Oh, it's all backwards. I guess I should do it this way. No, it's still backwards.
No, it's only backwards here. You're fine.
Oh, okay. So this is actual leather craft cement. It is glue that's made specifically for leather. Contact cement will work, and I understand it works very well. I've never used it. I believe Elmer's glue will work, but again, I've never used it. I found this stuff and I absolutely fell in love with it. And this is pretty much the only stuff that I use now. And all that you have to do, if you wanted to fix this keychain really quick, I found these, actually, JoBeth found these wooden, what do you call them? Tongue depressors?
Stir sticks.
Stir sticks. Okay, we'll go with stir sticks.
They were at Home Depot.
And so what I did is I took one and I cut it in half. So now I actually have two, but I'm only, of course, using one here. And I cut it in half because I wanted a flat edge as opposed to the smooth edge or the rounded edge. And in this case, I'm going to just take a little bit of my glue and I'm going to put it on the edge. And then I'm going to go in here because I'm crazy like this, and I'm going to try and do this off the cuff. Let's see. This is going to be hard because I've never done this for a camera. Okay, let's see. So we're going to take this glue. You're going to have to bear with me a moment, folks. We're going to take the glue and we're going to spread some of it on the inside of our little flap here that we just made on both sides. Let's see now if we can see this. Can we see this? Can we see this? Kinda. So there you have it, glue and glue. And we're going to put our little keychain back in place. And then we're going to press this together. And this is the cool thing about this stuff. You just let it sit for a couple seconds. It's almost like super glue. Just let it sit for a couple seconds. And you probably want to twist this a little bit because, yep, now I got a little bit of glue on that. Ink, ink. There we go. And there you have it. Once that, it'll hold. For right now, it'll hold perfectly. And then in probably about 2 hours, that will dry so tightly that it's just going to hold in place wonderfully. You just won't believe how great it actually works. And that's it. That's as simple a keychain as you can possibly make. What am I doing? Okay. The wife's giving me little signals on what to do. Somebody's got to keep me honest, folks. So, and then if you so desire, you can keep going and make yourself a whole bunch of these nice little keychains to start sending out as gifts. Keep them for yourself, whatever you want to do. That's the beauty of leatherwork. You can make all kinds of cool things, and you can make them for yourself, or you can make them for loved ones, or you can make them to sell. Whatever you want. And it's not that hard. It really, really isn't that hard. Sometimes it's a little time consuming. I just did a set of bracers, which are the arm guards, for myself for Ren Fair. And all total, I think it took 8 hours. Probably all total. But they're leather, and then they also have chain mail that come over the top, and they strap down in place. And I took the veg tanned and dyed it the way I wanted it. So it all came out really, really good. But anyway, so that I digress. That's just stuff that you can do if you so desire. If you want simple projects, you can do simple projects. And if you guys want to see other projects, let us know. And we will be more than happy to try and set up other projects for you guys to do. I can show you how to do a really quick basic pouch that, again, really wouldn't require a whole lot.
Rebel wants to know if Tandy sells Chicago screws.
Tandy does sell Chicago screws in several different lengths. I think they currently have 3 or 4 different lengths on their website. They sell them in brass. They sell them in nickel silver. And I don't think they do the antique brass in Chicago screws, but they do the antique brass in the rivets, and they do them in the snaps. So anyway, that was quick, down and dirty on how to do this. Questions at this point? Because I probably should have stopped somewhere in between there and asked for questions.
Oh, it's okay.
I told you I'm new to this. So again, if you guys decide you want to see something else done, message Jo Beth or drop it here in the chat, and we will do our best to see what we can do about putting something else together for you. Fantastic. I replaced all the snaps on my belt with Chicago screws. Really prefer. Yeah. When I first started out working leather, I did almost everything with Chicago screws because I was trying to make everything ambidextrous. Again, I started out because of the Ren Fair garb, and I was trying to make sword frogs. And I kept going online to try and find one that I liked. And you either had to buy a right-handed or a left-handed sword frog. You couldn't get anything that would go back and forth. And I was like, well, that's just stupid. So I actually designed my first ever leather project as an ambidextrous sword frog. And I used pretty much all Chicago screws because I didn't know how to sew leather back then, and I didn't know anything about gluing leather. So it was just all a matter of punching holes and setting screws. Any other questions out there that, at least right now? So let me, oh.
Yes.
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to let you guys know. If you decide you want to like seriously get into doing some of the I call them more advanced leather projects, there are 2 YouTube channels. Well, I don't know that they're channels, but there are 2 YouTube people you want to look up. One, Tandy. Tandy Leather has a bunch of YouTube videos out there. They also have a bunch of videos on their website. They are all free. You can go to their website and check out all these wonderful things on how to make a belt, how to make a knife sheath, how to make pouches, whatever. And again, it's all really, really easy. And I think a lot of their templates are actually free when you're doing it that way too. But they're very basic templates. They're not their better end templates.
Jackie.
The other channel is a YouTube channel, and it's called Magnus Leather, Magnus Leather. This guy is phenomenal. I've watched several of his videos, and the stuff that he puts out is just amazing. And he takes his time and he explains everything, and he explains why he's doing it the way he's doing it. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy to watch, as well as get ideas from. So give it some thought, and if you're serious about doing it, check out those channels. So that's about it. That's everything that I got.
I'm ready.
Okay. So without further ado, I am going to turn you over to my beautiful wife and let you guys enjoy her.
My little tutorial. Okay. Hey, everybody. And I think, Donatina, am I saying that right? You're in chat now. I did not see you come in. I apologize for not saying hello to you. If you hear funky noises in the background, our dog is having an allergy attack right now. So he's having a little bit of trouble breathing through his nose. It's nothing serious. It's just something that happens to him because of this weather. We have 2 blooming seasons in Arizona. We have one in February, March, and one in October. So we're right in the middle of a blooming season, and he has allergies. I don't give him anything for it because it's not really severe, but when he does have an attack, he makes a lot of like grunting noises. So if you hear something like that, that's what that is.
I would have told him we had a guinea pig.
A guinea pig. Yay!
Here's the
Okay. Scissors. Thank you.
I don't know what all you're gonna
I got my other scissors here. They're easier for me to handle. Okay, so could you do me a favor? Go in on my work table and get me another pair of needle nose pliers.
Yeah.
They should have a blue handle.
Okay.
If you can't find those, just get me a pair of needle nose pliers because there's like 5 of them in there. Anyways, so hi everybody, I'm back. I'm going to show you how to make something very similar to this. These are little leather leaf earrings, and these are made out of textured leather. It's like pebbled leather. And they're just really, really simple to make. There are a couple of little things that you have to remember to do specifically to make them look like this. They're kind of cupped. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's good. You can see it. But that's what we're going to do. I use French ear wires or fishhook wires on mine because I'm just really comfortable with those. But you don't have to. You can use like lever backs, earring posts, and such as that. I think that's the only 3 kinds that there are: posts, lever backs, and fish hooks. Well, there are long hooks too, but they wouldn't. I think the short ones look better with the leaf earrings because the leaves are so long. So we've got that. Now I'm going up too high. He was going too low. So anyhow, I'll take them all. Thanks.
Okay.
Cool.
I wasn't sure which ones at this point.
No, we're good. Thank you.
Until only the one had blue handles.
He brought me 3 pairs of needle nose pliers. So what you'll need is, I've got like an assortment of leather here. This one's probably too thin, but it's really beautiful. It's red, deep red. This one's good. This one's black. Black doesn't show up really well on the camera, but so I probably won't use that one. But I also have this bright blue suede, which I'm thinking I'm going to use. It's blue. I don't know if it shows up blue for you guys, but there it is right there. Also, I have, these are leather scissors. These are not the fancy leather scissors like that Mark was using. These are heavy duty leather scissors. They'll cut some heavy duty, really nice thickness leather. But these are like 2 razor blades that have been stuck together with a little post. I think I picked these up at a swap meet for like $3 or something. Or I did have a pair just like this for $3. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, these are really inexpensive. They're just, metal. They're all metal. They don't have grips or anything like that. But my hands are small, so these work pretty well for me. So I'm probably going to use those. Then I have a package of, and I make jewelry, so I have this stuff all in my workroom. These are the French wire fishhook earring backs or earring hooks. Okay, so I'm just going to lay those right there. And then I have 2 sizes of jump rings, and I'm just using 2 sizes because, oh wow, that's totally washed out. Here, let's do this. I've got pencil shavings. Does that tell you something? I was coloring today. But anyway, so I've got these jump rings. There's 2 sizes. There's a thicker I think that's a 20 gauge 4.0 ring, and this is a it looks like a 16 gauge 4.0 ring. So the jump rings, but you can use any size that you want. What you need to remember though is that your ring needs to go through it needs to be small enough to make the leaf cupped like this is. So you're going to want it to gather the leaf together at the top somewhat. Okay, there's that. I'm going to put those way over there because I'll spill them if I don't. And needle nose pliers. I've got this pair with smooshy handles. It's like memory stuff. It's really comfortable for my hands. It's called Comfort Gel. So yeah, it's kind of like a gel. And when I first picked them up and started using them, I was like, that's gross, but yeah, they work really well. And let's see, I've got these little tiny ones too. And the reason why I have two pairs is because it's just easier to open a jump ring if you're doing it that way. So, especially if you're using the 20 gauge or larger rings like this one, because they are really heavy duty. This one I believe is a silver plated brass. So, and then the other ones are aluminum. So they're really easy to bend, but the brass ones aren't so easy to bend. Okay. Oh, Nick, you got to go? Okay. Well, have a good day. And thank you for being here. Thank you for modding for me for a little bit. And I appreciate it very, very much. I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, so let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, yes, the rotary punch. I'm going to use a rotary punch. If you can put a hole through your leather without the use of a rotary punch, that's fine. But you don't need, I mean, you know, it's easier, but you can probably use the end of an X-Acto. I don't recommend using the point of X-Acto because it's not as controlled as this. Oop. There we go. This is going to keep you from getting cut, and using an X-Acto, like, you know, the tip of an X-Acto blade is a little bit dangerous. And personally, I wouldn't do it unless I was just in a pinch, a really big pinch, a bind. So, Felicia Thomas, hi. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming over. Who was the second one? Rebel, were you talking about the second YouTube channel? The second YouTube channel, I believe you said it was Magnus Leather.
Magnus Leather.
Magnus Leather, yes, confirmed.
And you can get a rotary punch at pretty much any hardware store.
Oh, right.
Harbor Freight, outstanding, because theirs are like $7.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, he just said that you can get a rotary punch like this a lot of different places. If you go to a place called Harbor Freight, which has like discounted hardware items and all kinds of other little, like, you know, canopies and etc., workbenches, he said that you can find something like that, like this there, for around $7. So that is good news. That's inexpensive. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to start with the bright blue suede, and I'm going to take all these other little bits off of here. That's our back door. Nobody get concerned. It's okay. The house isn't falling down, thank goodness. Okay, so ignore the man behind the curtain, he says. Move that over here. So I've got this leather. This isn't really, really thick. It's probably what, like 3 millimeter, maybe, but it's suede. It's got leather bits on it, which is why it looks like that, but it just rubs off. The suede, just the surface of the suede catches all those little bits. It was in a box with a whole bunch of little leather scraps. And for a long time, I didn't know what to do with all these little leather scraps. But this project is a really great project. It's really worth saving your scraps, because these type of things are things that people will buy for gifts, and they don't need to be very expensive because they're not very expensive to make. So you can find the earring wires. The earring wires you can find, and the jump rings you can find at craft stores like Michael's, Joanne's, just general craft stores usually carry stuff like that. They also probably will carry scrap leather in bags. That's where Mark got a lot of his project leather. So it's really not difficult to find this kind of stuff. Also, if you know someone who uses leather, or if you have a Tandy Leather or some other place that sells leather near you, nearly all of them are going to sell scrap bags of leather because leather is expensive. And if they were to toss that stuff out, they would take a hit. It would be wasteful. And expensive for them, but wasteful mostly because you can still use those. That little wire doesn't want to get off of there. Okay, so what we're going to do, and I'm not going to measure, I'm not going to draw anything. I'm just going to go for it because basically this is a demo. And I'm not looking for perfection, as Mark said. I'm looking for something that looks good and something that is gift worthy. So I'm going to start by making just a vertical cut, and then I'm going to go out and make a leaf shape. And this suede is really hard. You know what? I'm going to start over. There, this suede is really hard to cut. But I'm going to do it. My portal hands. So I'm just going to make a leaf shape. And just think heart. Think heart. Because it really does look like a heart. So I'm just going to take that all the way down. And then that's like part of my leaf. And then you can go start from the bottom. Oops. Up and around. Oops. And then your basic leaf shape. And do a kind of a stem at the top so it looks like that. Pretty simple. And we're going to do the same type of thing. I'm going to get rid of this little snip here. See, we're still going to lose some leather, but you can use these too because you can cut these into little circles and stuff and hang them as decorations on earrings or whatever. You can cut them into shapes and stitch them onto pouches or other things. So they look like little leather buttons. It's really kind of cool. You can do a lot with leather. It just takes a little bit of imagination. So what I could do is I could just lay this on the top and cut around it. But what I'm going to do, because I don't want to cut this one because I like the shape, is I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to go around and cut my little heart. Oops, that doesn't look good. There, that's a little bit better. And go down like that. And, oh, well, that just came right off of there, didn't it? There, that might be easier. And I'm going to go around here like this and make sort of a little stem thingy up top. And yes, no, these are not going to look the same, and I don't want them to look the same. I want them to be kind of freeform, actually. That's kind of how I work. But you can lay the smaller one on top of a larger one, and you can sort of cut around it so they're a little bit more shaped the same. And most people won't even notice that they're not exactly the same. Most people will just look at them and go, oh, those are cool, man. So I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. That's good. Let's get rid of these bits. Get rid of those bits. So we have 2 leaf-shaped pieces of leather. No, they're not the same. And if you'd like, if you really want to, you can, trim it so there's not a bunch of fuzzy stuff hanging off of the edge. you can just like trim it a little bit, because sometimes, you know, with suede, you get that stuff. On these, it's not so bad. On these, you can see that there's a little bit, but it took me this morning, it took me like, I don't know, 3 minutes to make these black ones. These take a little bit longer. These are taking a little bit longer. I think it's because the suede is harder to cut, but that's okay. My hands need the exercise, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get our rotary cutter, and we want to set this to the smallest, let's see, smallest circle. So, and we're going to put a hole like on this side of the stem where a stem would be. What I do is I punch and then I twist, if I can twist, because it helps cut the leather, but there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Suede is very hard to cut. To run a hole punch through. It resists very, very much because of the fiber.
Okay, I get that. I should have started with a different type of leather, but that's okay. There we go. I can do it. So that's what we got. We're going to put 2 holes like that in the other one.
By the way, a hammer and nail will work too.
Oh, yes, a hammer and nail would work. Or alternately, you could use a very, very sharp needle and some thread. And if you didn't want to put a jump ring in it, you could sew it. I'm going to try something different over here. No, it's not going to beat me. I just don't work with leather all that much. I usually work with jewelry, and it's nowhere near this difficult, but that's okay. I'm just going to lift that up a little bit and try again. There we go.
It could also be the tube on the hole punches filled.
Hey, what do you know? Let's use this little guy here. Sorry about my arm, guys. Okay, there we go. Pop those out of there. Little tiny little leather circles. One more and we're done. Punching holes. That's all I meant. So, oh, darn it. Come on, you. Give me a break, man.
You'd also be able to replace that too.
You probably do. We've had those a long time. So there, now you have 2 leaves with 2 holes each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the skinnier jump rings through the leaf and the more heavy duty jump rings up higher. And the reason why I'm doing this is because there's probably going to be more tension on the top ring than on the bottom ring, as far as, you know, if something happens and you're wearing it and it gets caught on something, or your granddaughter or grandson just says, look at that pretty thing, and goes to grab it. It's probably going to put more tension on that top ring. Let's see. Anybody have any questions while for right now? Wow. Okay. So here is why I have 2 pairs of pliers. I've got this ring and I'm holding it so that my opening is at the top. When you open a jump ring, you always want to go side to side. That way it doesn't get bent out of circle, out of round. You want to fold your leaf.
You're out of focus.
Oh.
There you go. Well, had it.
Yeah. You want to fold your leaf. Pardon my Band-Aid. I cut myself this morning. Toward you, and load the jump ring from the back, around, through, and close it. And you want to get it as flush as possible. So basically you got, you know, this little jump ring right there. I probably put my holes too close, but that's okay. It was suede. I was having trouble. I'll make another pair. So we're going to do that again on this one. My first pair looks really good. Fold it toward you. Load the ring from the back. And the aluminum jump rings, they bend really, really easy. So you may not even need a pair of pliers for those, but you will for the brass, silver-plated brass, because it's way stronger. So, yeah, I did it wrong. That's okay. Yeah, I put the holes too close. These holes are good. And these holes aren't so good. I'll tell you what. I'm going to start over. I'm going to take these out of here. See, look at that. Boop. Comes right out. You know, it would help if I used the tools. There we go. And there's blue suede bits all over the place. Oops. It's like an explosion. Okay. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to start over, and I am going to use, is this the same? Yeah, that's the same. Yep, that's the same. See, that's where I cut them out this morning. That's pretty cool. Okay, so, and this is just I don't even know. It's just a scrap piece that came in a bag. So I'm gonna use this as a template. Okay, that's good. Let's start from the other side, bottom. I'm just gonna cut around. Ah. Oh, you know what? I lied. I started from the top anyway. That's okay. And I'm making it a little bigger around. Hold on a second. I got to remove some notifications so I can see the chat. Do we make the small cuffs? If so, what do you use for the closures? Mark? Rebel, Mark wants to know what you mean by small cuffs. Are you talking about the bracers? I'm just trying to straighten the leather out a little bit right here.
Talking bracelets.
Bracelets? Oh, you mean like a cuff bracelet? Not a bracer. Okay.
Okay. Tell her to hang on.
He says, hang on. He's probably going to get something to use as an example. And I realize this one is like super big compared to the other one, but like I said, we can always lay the smaller one on top of the larger one and cut around it and make them generally the same shape. See that? I made it really big. And you can also layer them too if you want to, like 2 leaves like that. You can make a flower if you wanted to, but that's not what we're doing today. So I'm just going to cut around it, around this. There's a little corner there. And we're going to go and kind of even these up a little bit. Oh, that reminds me of an old Heart song. Even it up. That's a good song. Heart's just a good band. There we go. See, now they're almost the same size and shape. I'm just going to take these and make them a little bit more rounded. There we go. Now, alternately, if you want to give them a jagged edge, you can always just cut notches in the edge of the leaf with the scissors. And hey, watch the dog. Oh, the dog. Holy crap. That dog, he only barks when, I don't know, he's strange.
Amazon.
Cool. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. We're gonna make the holes a little further apart. So,
hey, while you're punching leather,
yes.
Can we ask Rebel really quick? Are we talking about a bracelet or braces?
She says she doesn't know the correct term, like what old bikers used to wear. Just a bracelet. Just like a leather. You mean like a leather cuff bracelet? You don't mean like this?
So a little bit wider, maybe?
Like a flat leather cuff bracelet with snaps at the inside, right? Hi, Christine. It's good to see you. Caught us right in the middle of our demo here. Yeah. That's what she means.
All right. So really quick, Rebel, you can use the snaps like I've done on this mystery braid bracelet, which is my personal one. Or you can do a belt and buckle type thing, or you can do a slide through a loop, or you could even just do ties like this is. This is just simple ties.
A lace up. But yeah, he can make those. If that was your question, yeah, he can make those.
Oh yeah, those are easy.
Yeah, he can make those. He could probably do one of those in what, like a couple hours?
Yeah, depending on the leather, yeah.
Depending on the leather. I thought you said weather at first. I was like, how does that have any bearing? Okay, so we're going to do this again. You want to fold it toward you. So the side that's going to be facing outward that people are going to see. And again, I would trim all this up. If this was a serious pair, I would trim all this up. I would make it look really nice and neat. I might even do a little bit of wax, rub a little bit of wax with one of those little edge, what are those called? The edge smoother thingies.
Oh crap.
But I'd use some wax or something and make it look really smooth and nice. And, just little finishing touches. But we're going to load the jump ring from the back. And then shut it. Make it flush. See, now, this one's done right. See how it folds? It folds. So there's that. Oh, that's okay, Christine. You're not late, really. I mean, we're still moving. We're still going. Hey, Joey. Good to see you. Thank you for showing. Thank you for coming. So we've got this guy. We're going to do the same thing. We've got my open jump ring. Oops. Open jump ring. Yeah, come on in. Pour yourself a cup. Put your feet up. Load it from the back so it folds over front way. Like that. Doo-doo. Oops. That always scares me when it does that because it snaps really loud. And it's just the pliers slipping off of the jump ring. So we've got that. Now I'm going to take these, and these are the ones that are harder to open, so I'm not going to use the tip. These are the brass ones, and they're the 20 gauge, or actually they might be 18 or 18 gauge. I think they're 18 gauge. So I'm going to hold, actually I should switch because these pliers are thicker. These are heavier duty pliers. So we're going to, and yes, I am aware that there's a jump ring opener thing tool, but I really like using my pliers. Maybe I'm old school. I don't know. Oh, and you know what you can do too is, and I'm going to do it right now, is you can make this into a little point instead of a stem. I just think that looks a little bit better. So I'm going to trim that off right there. There, that one worked well. Okay, pick up my jump ring. And I'm holding it like this instead of, let's see if I can get that in there. To the side, not on the point like that. So we're going to put that in here. And close that up. Or you can open this one. get your wire ready. You could put this through there. Let's see if I can get that to focus.
Why do you hold it on the side like that?
I'm holding it on the side like that because it's really heavy duty and it's hard to open. Otherwise, I would be holding it with the tip of the plier. But these are brass. They're silver-plated brass, so they're really heavy duty and they're hard to open. So I'm using it like this.
And you got a frame.
I'm using it like this. And then you can put the wire on. And this is the tricky part. Close it back up. And I think I got it on backwards. No, that's okay. Nope, it's on the extra ring. I need to put extra ring on there. So I'm going to take that ring and open it back up. And again, I open it sideways because that makes the ring stay round. If you tried to open it up like, if you open it up like this, then it's going to get out of round. It'll become oval. But if you open it like this, it stays round and you can just put it back. So take the ear wire thingy off. And sometimes, you know, too, you don't have to use rings. You can use a bit of chain. You just have to make sure that each chain, the chain in each, oh, you know what? The chain in each earring is the same amount of links, same amount of links. And, or the same length, if the links are at all the same. If it's not uniform, you know, each link being the same length. Say that 5 times fast. Okay.
You can't even say it once.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this. So we've got the first link, the first jump ring through the leather. Second jump ring through that first jump ring. And then there's a third jump ring through the second or middle jump ring. And that's where we're going to hang our hook. Like this. And then we're going to close that back up. Oop, man, that's tough. It scares me every time. It's like the biscuit can. Do you guys know? You guys are, does that startle you? Even though you know it's going to happen when you're opening the darn biscuit can? You know, you're unwrapping that thing and you know it's going to go pop at some point. But every time it does it, it startles you anyway. Yeah, been there. So now we've got this little leaf earring. See? Pretty cool, pretty cool. And like I was saying before, if you want to put like little notches in it so it looks a little bit more like a leaf, you can just cut some notches. And you might want to do this if you want to do it with an X-Acto. That might be easier for you, but I like my scissors because I like my fingers. And voila. Let's make a bigger one. A bigger one would be easier to do.
Helen says hi.
Helen, hello. Good to see ya. That's true, Christine. It does create stress on the metal that you don't need to do. It's just, yeah. Okay, let me see here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, see? So now, oops. So now you've got little leaf edges. And if you wanted to, you could take, you know, where's my Poscas? Those are paint markers. Paint markers work better on leather. Familiar sound? Yes. So you can take a Posca. Oh my, that was dirty. Glad I did that. And it doesn't have to be white. You can go any color you want. But, you know, make yourself a little glitter pen would work too. or something a little understated. Instead of white, you could use blue or maybe a green. Green would look nice, but I wanted to do this so you guys can see it. So we've got a little leaf. We've got veins in our leaf, and we've got little jagged edges on the leaf. So there's different things that you can do with that. Two, what you can do is you can get make a little bead on a wire and attach it here. Let me see if I can show you a better way. We can attach it here on one of these rings. It doesn't have to be on this one. It can be on this one, or it can be on this one, or it could even be on this one, or you could attach the ring to a bit of chain and have dangling from that ring a little bead on a little setting, a finding. So you can do, like, say you wanted it to look like a dewdrop, you could put a little tear shaped or a water drop shaped bead hanging down and make a fairy leaf earring. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. And like I said, some of these scraps are so small. Let me show you. Here's another piece of suede. This one I can make a pair of earrings out of this. Yeah, it would just involve placing my cuts precisely in order to use this to my best advantage. But yeah, this is another piece of suede that I'm not going to cut because it's too hard for me to punch the holes through it right now. But yeah, and then I've got, I mean, you can make an autumn leaf. You can make, out of red or brown, or even like yellow ochre colored leather. We've got tan suede. That would make a nice pair of earrings too. And you could do the whole paint the veins on it. You could make a whole bunch of little leaves and hang them from a necklace to make a set. Lots and lots of ideas. But that's something that, I mean, you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of time, but you want to make somebody something that you made instead of going out and buying them I mean, how much do they charge for leather earrings? They charge like $10 or $15, don't they, for a pair of leather earrings like that? You could make them granted, the leather scraps might run you $10 or $12, but if you go to a place like Michael's, you can use a 40% off coupon and you can get that bag of leather for almost half price. So that's an alternative too. And I highly recommend making things for gifts. I mean, you put yourself into those. You know what I mean? It's very cool. I'm going to put this Posca pen away. I don't want it sitting around. I will lose it. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Oh, thank you, Helen. Yeah, Rebel acrylic does really, really well on leather. It's pretty amazing. It's just the more I do, the more videos I watch, I get all these ideas. I'm having so much fun. Oh my gosh, yes. But I've always been a highly creative person. So being in a community that is highly creative also, I'm just like delighted. Super cool. Okay, so anybody have any questions about the leather, about the earrings, about I don't know, where to find resources? Tandy Leather probably has a video on how to make something like this too. I haven't seen it, but I haven't really looked either. So it's worth a look. It's worth probably, if you're going to really serious, if you're serious about making leather items, if you're just curious about what else they have, it's free. Like Mark said, it's free. It's so worth it.
There are a ton of resources.
Oh yeah, tons of resources. So,
so how long have we been on right now?
We're almost at an hour and a half.
Okay, minus say 15, let's say 18 minutes.
For the announcement at the beginning?
Okay, let's say 20 minutes. Let's make it easy on ourselves. Say 20 minutes. So we've been on for what now? An hour?
An hour? Why?
Okay. Remember I said about the glue? So I'm going to borrow you. It slides through, no problems. Stays in place, doesn't move around.
Hey, that's
and
pretty cool.
That's not even the full drying time on it. So that's how well that leather glue works. Just so you know.
That is really cool. When he first made the first one that he had, here as an example, this one, this nice, beautiful red one. He brought it out and he goes, "Look what I made." And I was like, "That's so neat. When did you do that?" "Oh, well, it took me what?
5 minutes.
5 minutes." I was like, no way. But anyhow, yeah, simple little Christmas. And if anybody has anything, you want to see, like you've seen something in the store or a leather item, I'm talking, that you're curious about, if we could make it, how it would be done, or if we have any, pointers or anything like that, let me know. Ask a question. Joe Beth, I found a channel where the guy draws on canvas with a glue gun. Then he uses acrylic paint. Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's amazing how everything is art. I know. Oh my gosh, yes, Christine. I taught art for a little while at a 2-year college in Show Low, and in order to get the job, I had to convince them that I could work art into just about everything that I was teaching. And I guess I did well, because they hired me like the next week. So, so yeah, I see no reason to not, if you're an artist and if that interests you and you can do it, you're capable because you're interested, how you can work art history, art technique, color theory, all kinds of stuff into just regular, everyday, run-of-the-mill educational classes. And it's so fun. It's like stretches your mind. It's really cool. Let's see. Okay. Sean! Wow, dude, did you break any speed driving laws to get here? You say you made it. Oh my gosh. Okay, Rebel, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And you have a great day. Take care. Okay, so any questions? Seriously, we'll try to field them. I didn't even finish this one here. I was so excited about showing you the notches in this one.
That was supposed to be bye, Rebel.
That was supposed to be bye? Goodbye?
Yeah, where it said Sean Rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's YouTube. It's YouTube. YouTube's twitchy. So, I could fix these. I could still use these. And the way that I could is I could run a thread. Hey, Mark, can you take care of the dog for me?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. But you could run a thread, leather lace or something through here. And this is just a piece of scrap I cut off of something else. And you could gather it like that. See that? Voila.
That would make a great attachment for like a journal.
Oh, you're right, it would. Oh my gosh, that would be great for like a junk journal or a smash book or something like that, wouldn't it, Christine? Just like a little, or at the end of a bookmark or something. Yes, Christine, we buy ours, the craft leather bags. They're like just scraps of leather, and they're all packaged up in a bag. And they're in clear bags, so you can see what's in there before you buy it. And Mark buys them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. We don't go to Joanne's very much because it's further away, but Michael's and Hobby Lobby, they have them. Yeah. And how much are those anyway without the coupon? Like $12.
Yeah.
Right around
No, actually, I think Michael's is running theirs at about $19.
19.
Yeah,
Okay.
they get huge scraps too.
Oh,
They
okay.
make a bunch of stuff.
So I don't know if you heard that or not, but okay, Joey, I'll see you later. You take care. Enjoy. Yeah, Christine. Yeah, paperclip, but yeah, the big bags there, he said they're around $20, but like I was saying, if you use the 40% off coupon, you can get yourself a big bag of leather for almost half price. So, you know, and then you'll have a lot of project leather for little things like this. And oh gosh, an assortment of other things. I mean, if you're going to paint on it, you could make yourself a bookmark, you know.
I made an entire pouch out of the scrap.
Yeah, he made an entire pouch out of the scrap leather. So, and I've made things out of the scrap leather too. So, you know, like journals, I make little tiny journals. And I should start doing that again because they're really popular now. I made them before they were popular. So anyway, well, you know, Sean, you may be able to find a bag of scrap leather or some kind of scrap leather at a leatherworking place, like some place that just, I don't even know. Craft and Lore is a place in Idaho. There, we don't have them here. I think it's like a small family-owned business. But if you can find a small family-owned business that uses leather in their projects, perhaps you could find, you know, you could make a deal with them where you could purchase some of it for, you know, maybe not very expensive. It's worth it. It's worth the asking. I mean, what, you're starting from nowhere anyway, you know, you're starting from no anyway. So there's nowhere to go but up. And I think it's worth trying. But yeah, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with these little scraps. You can put slits in them. If you want to make like moons and suns, you can do a circle and then put slits all the way around it for a sun, and then just cut your crescent for a moon and maybe color it with a glitter marker, a gel pen or something, because the leather is going to soak up the ink, but the glitter is good. It might fall off. It might fall off eventually, but I mean, nothing's perfect, right? But yeah, you know, you can do that. You can use, oh gosh, you can stain it if it's not already dyed like this dark to where a stain won't be, you know, you won't notice it too much. You could stain it with, let's see, red onion skins, beets, brown onion skins, carrots. And so you don't need to go out and you don't need to buy a big expensive bottle of dye. You can stain it with coffee tea, India ink. Colored ink is a great dye because it is staining your things. It's not like, you know, I mean, we all know, everybody who colors in coloring books knows ink tints works the way that it does because it is ink and it stains the page. Watercolor doesn't necessarily stain the page, is why you can move the pigment. So, you know, the ink, you can use that to dye your leather. You can use the ink to dye your paper too, but we're talking leather. Get yourself a light leather scrap, like a light suede color like this, maybe tan. And you want it to look aged, you just, you know, just splotch on your ink and go to town and see what happens. Experiment with a bag of scraps. You could do multiple experiments. You could even use your experiment stuff. I mean, I look at some of the work that I did for the older journals that I have that I've sold already, and some of the stuff that I used was really, it was clumsy, you know, rustic. It wasn't cultured, and it wasn't perfect. And those, incredibly, to my amazement, were the ones that sold more quickly than the refined, more aesthetically, what I thought was aesthetically pleasing ones did. So, oh heck yeah. But yeah, you know what? Tag me or something if you do it, and we can pass around our pictures on Facebook or Instagram, and who knows, maybe we can, you know, generate business for each other and help out the community. I mean, each other. That would be super cool, I think. Okay, so I don't have anything else for you, but I do want to go over the announcements again because there are people here that weren't here before. Earlier, I was saying that I was going to do a coloring page for my Spooktober Streamathon out of one of the books of Beauty of Horror, but I changed my mind and I'm going to do either this one or this one. And the reason why I changed my mind is because the Beauty of Horror books, you can't get those. I don't think you can get those pages as PDFs, but these are PDFs. This one is Jana Prosperina. It's off of Etsy from her store, Jana. I think it's called Jana Fairy Art on Etsy. And it's a single PDF, I believe. If it's not, it's in a packet. And if it's in a packet, it's really not that expensive, if I remember right. This one is a single PDF from Selena Fennick. And it is a grayscale. So I don't know which one I want to do yet. I haven't decided, but this one isn't very expensive either. Like I said, it's a PDF and it can be purchased as a single. But I wanted to give people more of an option because the Beauty of Horror books, if you want to follow along and color along, then you're going to need to be able to get something affordable and not go out and buy a whole book. And that's why one of the main reasons I changed my mind. And so I just wanted to go over that with you. We've already had 2 votes for this one. And I don't think we had any votes for this one.
None that I've seen.
Right. Mark was counting them up. So we had 2 votes for the Selena Fennick. And so anyway, that's one of the announcements that I had. Another one.
Sean.
Are you feeling dark or light? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. 22 cents a pound, Christine. That's wonderful. So does everybody see what Christine said about the leather scraps? That is awesome. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. Good resource.
Yeah, poor Sean was saying that in the UK they don't have anything that really helps.
Right, right.
I feel bad.
Oh, you know, Helen, I like the Selena. I go for more serious spooky than cute spooky. So I like the Selena Fennick one a little better, but I'd be open to doing either one. I just like coloring. So yeah, but there's that. Also, the Spooktober Streamathon Colorathon is on the weekend of October 25th, 26th, and 27th. There is let me see here. I'm going to give you the link to the schedule so you guys can go and look it up and have it, bookmark it if you want to bookmark it. I have mine bookmarked. I refer to it regularly because I'm trying to figure out if they've changed anything. I don't think they changed anything in a couple of weeks, and it's pretty full. So we've got a lot of fun things lined up. I'm going to have a couple fun things lined up, and I'm not going to tell you what those are because you got to come and see. So yeah, it's my way of saying, hey, come on over. So there's that. Also, next weekend, I was thinking about doing an ephemera picture frame. And this is just a frame it's a wood frame. I painted black, but I have all kinds of little bits and pieces of stuff that I can put on there. And I thought it would be fun to do kind of like something. I've seen other YouTube streamers where they have you pick what to put on it next. And out of a selection of things, I thought that might be fun. So I'm going to see if I can grab a bunch of stuff and have it ready and show you and see what my votes are for, like this or this, and put that on the frame and where to put it and stuff like that. Also, awesome.
Yeah.
No, Sean, I don't stream tomorrow. I stream on Tuesday at the same time frame, 2 to 4 Pacific or Arizona time. It's Pacific. I think it's Pacific.
Yeah, we're still Pacific.
We're still Pacific. Yeah. My husband always knows. I know. I don't know. Depends on your taste buds. Okay, Sean. I was just going through on my computer and looking at what I already had. So, that's what I came up with. So yeah, but just call you an enabler. Christine, you're an enabler.
That's what I like.
And so am I. So, okay, let's see, what was I going to do? Oh, yeah. And what I was thinking about doing was when I do the ephemera, if I don't do it next Sunday, I will be doing it soon. And when I do the ephemera frame, I was thinking about having like a little giveaway where I just take bits and pieces of what I'm using and put them in an envelope, and we have a giveaway for the envelope full of stuff. Over 20 years. So I have some stuff that is true antique. I have tiny little books with real aged pages in them that I was going to take the pages out. I have old jewelry and parts of jewelry and metal stampings and antique lace and buttons and all kinds of stuff. So I'm thinking I even have vintage sheet music that I'm thinking about cutting up and using for this too. So, and Mod Podge, Mod Podge it on there, make it look all cool and everything. And, the paint, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, hey, Mousy. That's okay. We're just talking about what I might be doing coming up soon here. And I was talking about doing an ephemera day where I have everybody pick bits and pieces of things to put on a frame that I'm going to make. I don't have a heat gun. So what I'm thinking about doing is starting 2 and working on one while the other one dries and just alternating back and forth because I don't have a heat gun. So
Sean's got a question.
that would be my alternative. Sean has a question. Do I know where is good for crystals? Are you talking quartz crystals? Because I have a bunch in my store. I have 1 pound lots, and I usually throw in a few extra ounces. I know shipping is expensive from the US to where you are, but I can make it worth your while. If you want to look in my store, redravenscauldron.com. I think it's called the Magic of Stones section. But yeah, redravenscauldron.com is my store, and I do sell crystals, unwrapped raw Brazilian crystals. So yeah, and I try and make a variety in each package, like little tiny ones and all the way up to like 3 by 1.5 and 4 by 1.5 and such as that. As far as other places, there is a place called Crystal Magnetics on Etsy, and the guy he's got pretty fair deals. Of course, this guy is also in the United States, so again, the shipping might be an issue. So that's kind of the only resources I have for you. There also is a place here in the city that I live in it's actually in Mesa, Arizona. And it's a wholesale gem and mineral place. I used to work there, and they have crystals all the time. They also have all kinds of other stones all the time. And like I said, they're wholesale, and I do have a business license, and I used to shop there a lot, even when I worked there, because their deals were just phenomenal and still are. So if you want to go there, it's called, oh gosh, Arizona Gifts Center, or, oh gosh, what other name do they go by? I can't remember.
I have no idea.
But Arizona Gift Center is what the store is called by us, and they have a mother store that is in Quartzsite, Arizona. And Quartzsite, Arizona is known for the Gem and Mineral Show I think it's February. So yeah, Gem World, that's what it is, Gem World. You might check out Gem World, and they get a lot of their deals from, overseas and stuff like that. So they buy in bulk. So when they have something, they have a lot of it generally. So that might be an alternative too. Oh, cool. I would like that. Yeah. Once again, amethyst. I have a whole box full of chipped amethyst. It's like amethyst chips. It's kind of what happens when they break apart an amethyst geode, and then they've got all these pieces and parts of amethyst that just kind of crack off. A lot of them aren't faceted, and they don't look like, you know, the six-sided crystal like the quartz crystals are. But yeah, I've got a whole box full of those. I can't remember how much it weighed. It was like 25 pounds or something. So there's a lot of them. If you want to message me later on Instagram, maybe we can talk about that, and I can show you pictures of it and see what we can do. And maybe we can figure something out where, you know, it wouldn't be astronomical to ship to you. I don't know though, because I'm just a small store. I don't have a whole lot of resources as far as shipping goes. I go through USPS because the other shipping alternatives are quite a bit more expensive. So, or at least a little bit more expensive. So, anybody else have any other questions? I can send it in a bottle. Yeah, like a message. Yes. Oh my gosh. By the time it got there, would you still want to do anything with it? Oh my gosh. That would take forever. Oh man. I'll have my dragon bring it over.
Oh,
Fly it over the ocean for you. Okay, well, I'm going to end this a little early. I don't want to, because I really, really love live streaming with you guys. It's always a pleasure. But I don't want to bore you either. Dragon mail is the best. I agree. Awesome. So anyway, I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for showing up and for spending time with me. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. You know, send me a message. I'll see what I can do with suggestions. I can't guarantee that all of them are gonna go, you know, right away or in the next few weeks, because I have a 3-page list of things that I want to do. So, oh, Christine, it was lovely seeing you too. And I'm glad you could catch it. I really am. It's cool. Okay, Helen, thank you.
And I want to say thank you as well for joining us. And as always, if you come up with something, you come up with a leather project that you'd like to see done, let us know, and we'll see what we can do about putting it together. If you just have questions about leather craft, drop us a line, and we will definitely try to answer them. If we can't answer it, I'm pretty sure I can send you to someone who can.
Cool. Yeah. So you didn't scare him away. He's almost volunteered to do another live stream. So we're good.
I can teach you guys how to do a drawstring pouch that, again, really doesn't require a whole lot of tools other than something to punch a hole and cut out a circular piece of leather.
So we could do a drawstring pouch.
We could.
We could probably also do a cuff. It would,
like a bracelet?
Yeah, like one of them wide flat cuffs like Rebel was mentioning.
We could.
Because that doesn't require a snap. It could be laced. So anyway,
yes, right.
Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys. I appreciate. It's okay, Mousy. You can always watch it back. This stream wasn't as long as the other ones that I've done, so you're in luck. So yeah, but
is your shop link in the description?
My shop link is not in my description right now. I didn't. Oh, wait a minute. Is it my website? Yeah. You know what? I think it isn't in the website. The website is in the description. Hold on a second. Let me find out. No, it's okay. I can find out real quick here. My online store. Yes, it is. If you go down to the bottom where it starts with links to my websites, my online gallery, my online store, it's right there. It says redravenscauldron.com. That is my store. And that link should take you right straight to the home page. And if you scroll down the home page, there are a bunch of featured items, and there's a little search box. So if you want to look up leather, you can just put the word leather in the search box and click my magnifying glass, and it'll take you to everything that's got leather in it or mentions leather, which might be a little messy at first, but there's pictures. So you can probably find what you're looking for relatively easily. It's a pretty good website. GoDaddy isn't bad. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for taking a look. I appreciate it. Okay. Also, there's a link in that description for the Facebook page for this YouTube channel. It's called Crafty Cauldron Crafts and Coloring. And I encourage you, if you want to join that page, to post coloring pages, craft ideas, links to other videos, finished crafts, questions, suggestions, whatever you have. And I will do what I can to get to everything as soon as I possibly can, or I will ask Mark if I don't know. And if I don't know and he doesn't know, I'll find out for you if I can. So I will do everything that I can to answer every question. So have a good evening, morning, afternoon, and have a good week. Everyone take care. Peace, love, and remember, it's not about the journey. It's about it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And hopefully it's an artistic journey. Yay! I always mess that up. I got to change my byline. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye-bye.